So as I told you, what you have to do, you have to keep your mat approximately 6 to 8 feet from the camera, from the laptop. So 6 to 8 feet if you keep, the mat will be visible, the height will be visible, everything, whatever you do, it will be visible to you. So there is a first important thing to see is how to keep the camera, what is the distance. So if you see, I have kept the camera little above the ground, but it is approximately 6 to 8 feet, approximately 8 feet. So you can see whatever I do, you can see. Similarly, when you do it, try to keep it like that so the teacher can see what you are doing. Otherwise, the teacher cannot correct you. You will make mistakes and you will not be able to get corrected. So that is very important. So that is the first thing that I want to tell you. So placement of the mat. Now, the other thing is that since you are at home, there will be a lot of work at home. No, somebody comes. No, somebody rings the bell. There will be cooking at home. All these things will be there. So, but when you are practicing this 1 hour, 1 hour, 15 minutes, try to be away from all this household work. Don't manage your household work and yoga practice together. So some people I have seen, they'll go away in between. They'll do something. The cooker whistle will be running. After 4 whistles, they will go to the kitchen. They'll switch off the cooker and come back to yoga class. This is happening. I'm not telling. All I've seen in the class. So try not to do all these things. So finish your cooking, all the work before the class, or otherwise do it after the class. Don't manage cooking, household work, everything during the yoga class. So what will happen is you will do half the yoga, then you will go. When you come back, already some asana is over. Now you don't know what is to be done. So suddenly you will be out of place. And I will be confused. Is somebody running away, somebody coming back. See, I am also looking at you, no? So I will also get confused. Somebody is joining, somebody is going, somebody is coming. So my instructions will be wrong because you are confusing me. So please don't confuse me. Please don't confuse yourself. Try to dedicate this time for proper practice. Be inside the class, better be away from the other household work. Unless there is an emergency. Emergency, no problem. But otherwise, please don't get distracted while practicing. That is the second thing. So these two important things I want to tell you. Then, then we will do. Now I will start with the loosening practices. Always you have to do the loosening practices before doing any asanas, any pranayama, or any Surya Namaskara, anything like that. You have to first do loosening practices. So it takes about 10 to 10 minutes. It will take for loosening practices. So now I am going to quickly show you all the loosening practices which we are doing the normal class. I will not take much time. So I am going ahead and starting with the loosening practice. So this month we are doing loosening practices in lying down position. In between, if anybody is not able to hear me or some network problem, you log out and log in so that you will be able to see me. If I get logged out, I will log in again. Another thing is, before going many times, it is better to use a laptop because the screen is big. And from a distance about 8 feet, 6 to 8 feet, you can see the screen. So in case of doubt, you can see the screen. But if you keep a mobile phone, then the picture will be very small. You'll have to go very close to the phone. By that time, not possible. And if you go close to the phone, I cannot see it. Okay. Otherwise, you should know everything what is to be done. So it is always better to use a laptop if possible. If it is unavoidable, I don't have a choice. You don't have a laptop, then use a phone. That is second choice. Now, if you are using the phone, try to keep the phone not vertical, keep it horizontal. If you keep the phone horizontal, then your picture will be wider. The teacher will be able to see you properly better. If you keep like this, the picture will be very small. It will be very small. And whereas all the other students, their picture will be very big. So naturally, the teacher's attention on you will be less because your picture is very small, correct? all others pictures are big. So try to keep your picture properly. So the easiest way to do is laptop. In case it is unavoidable to use a phone, keep the phone horizontal. That is the landscape mode, landscape, so that the teacher can view you. Other thing. Now third thing, avoid using fan, AC, all these things while practicing. All these things will cool your body. So when the action starts, the body starts slightly heated up. When you're doing Surya Namaskara, all these times the body heats up and there will be sweating. If you put the fan, all that loosening will go away. So body will become stiff when you're cold. You have seen in cold season the body becomes stiff. So don't lose the effect of loosening and Surya Namaskara and all by putting on the fan, AC and all. Avoid fan, avoid AC while practicing. And don't put bright light towards the camera. Now, I have got a light here. It is coming from the side. Now, if I do like this, now can you see me? Why? Because the direct light is falling on the camera. Now, if you do this, I cannot see it. So all these things are important. See, if the light is falling on me, then you can see me. Simple reasons. If the light is falling on the camera will detect the light. It will not detect me. So you should close the curtain. See. Now you can see me. Even though little color is there, but you can see me. So don't put direct light on the camera. Don't put direct balcony light on the camera. These are all important things. Please don't ignore these things. Some people think, phone is red, now start doing. No, please do the proper settings so that your class is properly designed. Okay, so this much is important for all of you. Because see, I need to see you what you're doing. If I don't know what you're doing, you will make mistakes. You will think that you are doing correct, and I will not be able to see any teacher for that. That is about that. Now I'm going to loosening practices. Observation is better for you. See what I'm doing instead of doing. If you want to do, no problem. Okay. So first I will lie down in Shavasana position. So I keep the legs together, hands close to the body. Now inhale, point your toes forward. Exhale, point your toes backward. Inhale front, exhale back. Inhale front, exhale back. Inhale front, exhale back. One more. Inhale front and exhale back. Now rotate the feet. 1, 2, 6. Since I am talking, I cannot breathe properly. 3, 4, 5. Opposite side. 1. I hope you can see me. 2, 3, 4, 5. Now bend both the legs. Keep your feet close to your hips. Now inhale, take your left leg. See how I pointed to go. It's not like this. I pointed it. Exhale, keep it. Inhale right. See, I pointed to go. Not like this. See, like this. Exhale, kept. Inhale left. Exhale, kept. Inhale right. Exhale, bend. Inhale left. Exhale, bend. Inhale right. And exhale, bend. Now both together. Inhale up. Exhale, bend. Inhale 2. Exhale, bend. Inhale 3. Exhale, bend. Inhale 4. Exhale, bend. One more. Inhale 5. And exhale, bend. Keep the legs there only. Inhale, spread your arms sideways. So I don't have place here, so I'm keeping this hand bent. Ideally, you're supposed to keep it straight. Exhale, tilt your knees to the left. Look at your right hand. Inhale, bring it back, look at the sky. Exhale to the right. Look at the left side. Inhale up, look up. Exhale left. Inhale up. Exhale right. Inhale up. Exhale left. Inhale up. Exhale right. And inhale up. Exhale to Shavasana. Leg down, hand down. So both leg and hand comes back. Now inhale, take both the arms over your head. Place it on the floor. Exhale, point your toes to the front. See how I pointed, like this. Now I have to lift one leg. Inhale, take the left leg up. So the legs, both the toes are pointed, not like this. Exhale down. See, awareness has to be there. Your mind should be very, very focused on what you are currently doing. Inhale, take the other leg up. Exhale down. Inhale left. Exhale down. Inhale right. Exhale down. Did you see the other leg moving? It will not move. Inhale left. See, I am focusing on the other leg. It's straight. It doesn't move. Exhale down. Some people do like this. They are not focusing on this. They are focusing only on here. Down. One more. Inhale left. Exhale down. Inhale right. And exhale down. Now both together. Inhale up. Both together. Exhale down. Inhale 2. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale. Now stay there and breathe. So I am looking at the toe. 1, 2. Join, your legs should be together. 3, 4. See, pointing the toes, not like this. 5, 6. I am squeezing the legs. 7. All the things are tight. 8, 9. So I can feel that strength on the abdomen, on the lower back. And then exhale, bring the leg down. Inhale in this position. Exhale, turn to the ground. That's all required, turning around. After turning around, keep both the palm by the chest. Now chest is here. Chest is not here. Some people, they are keeping the hands below shoulder. Shoulder is different. Chest is different. The chest is here. So my elbow will come below the wrist. So don't keep like this. If it's too difficult, keep a little forward, no problem. Try to keep your hand by the side of your chest. Now back bending. Legs should be together. Inhale, lift your chest. Whatever possible, lift up. Exhale down. Inhale 2. Exhale. 3. Down. 4. Down. 5. Stay there. About approximately 5 numbers. Exhale, go down. Then, so there are some common mistakes I will tell you after that. Now inhale, stand on the knees and hands. Exhale, keep the knees away. Standing toes. So I kept the knee a little away, like that. Like this. See, it's not together. Keeping the knees a little away. And the legs are standing toe. Like you see. This is sleeping toe. This is called sleeping toe. This is called standing toe. I hope you got that. That is important. Then, the other thing is keeping the palm. Your palm should be like this. Don't keep like this. So this is wrong. If you keep like this, see, I'm checking that you can see me. So if you keep like this, your wrist will get damaged. So keep the finger wide open. You saw that? And keep the index finger parallel. Don't rotate like this. Don't rotate like this. Keep it straight, firmly. So if you rotate this way or this way, your elbow will pain. Your shoulder will also start getting damaged. So keep it properly. So the finger should be wide open and the index finger, this is the index finger, they should be parallel. See, other fingers will go away from the index. Okay, I have one video on that, how to keep the palm. That's also there. Now, inhale, press the left arm front, right leg back. That's it. Lift it. Exhale, elbow on the knee. Inhale, 2. Exhale. 3. 4. 5. Stay there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Stay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale to cat and exhale your breath. Other side. 1. Fold. 2. 3. 4. 5. Fold. Inhale to cat. Exhale, turn to the front. Sit in Vajrasana. After sitting in Vajrasana, you have to do eye rotation. So bring your hands on the eye. So before the class, better wash your hands with proper soap so that your hands are not dirty and the eyes will not get contaminated. So bring your hands on the eyes, open your eyelids, rotate your eye. 5 times. 1, 2, 3. How to rotate the eyes? Keep the eyelids far away. Like a little wide open. 1, like this, without closing the eye. Opposite side. All the directions. 5 rotations. Release. Now inhale, look at your nose. Exhale, walk. One object I have to see. I have put one dot. I will look at that dot. Inhale. One dot. One more, last one. Looking here, breathe normally. Looking into the nose. Then look at one point. Ekagra drishti. Or we should look at one object. That's it. Then release the drishti. Now in the same position, we have to bring the arms in front. Fist close, open, close, full open, close, full open, close, open full, close, open, drop, up, drop, up, drop, up, drop, up, down, up, close. 1, 2, 3. See, I'm taking all the directions. 4, change. 1, 2, see everywhere. 3, 4, 5. Straight away. 4, straight. 4, straight. 5 times. Then fold, touch. Then see how it goes up. See it reached here, so that then goes back. And then it comes back. Don't do like this. These are all, see, I know. See, some people are already doing that one. I can see Tanmay is not looking. He's interested in doing. Tanmay has to be interested in finding out how to do it. See, I will take up like that. Same way, reverse. So I have to take back, take it up. See, the elbow has gone above the head. You saw that? This is the head level, this is the elbow level. And then that is important. Take it up, touch it in front. Like that, 5 times. Then interlock the finger. So all the instructions are given in that sequence. Interlock your finger, then inhale and stretch your arm. So the ears, see the ear has come in front of the hand. It's not like this. So the back will not become straight. See, I take it behind the head, not backwards. Take it upwards. And then, like your eyes, lengthen to the spine. You saw that the chest has come up, the arm has come up. That is Parvatasana. So you have to lift your arms and don't keep elbows bent. Elbow should be straight and long. That is Parvatasana. So you should effortfully try to lift your body without lifting the buttocks. Then exhale. Like that. So you have to move along with the breath. I did not bring like this, see? No. Along with the breath, I brought it back. So you completed arm movements. Then inhale, sit to one side, exhale, unlock the legs. Hands at the back. Shake your legs. Neck rotation. Second last low swing practicing. Chin down. Then inhale, take your head backwards. Exhale, bring it down. 1. So I keep telling, one breath, one rotation. 3. 4. 5. Other side. 1. All sides. 2. It's very relaxing. 3. I'm finding it very nice. See, stretching my neck all the back side. 4. Since I'm talking, I'm not able to breathe properly. 5. So if you're talking, you cannot breathe properly. If you're breathing properly, you cannot talk. No? They are mutually exclusive. One happens, the other cannot happen. So you completed that. Last one, forward bending. So I'll show you sideways. So when I am sideways, now you can see me easily. When I am front, you cannot see me properly. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, going forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Inhale, 3. Exhale, down. Inhale, 4. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Now stay here for some time. 1. 2. 3. 4. 5. Then inhale, come up. Exhale. Then come to standing position, over. Any doubts in loosening practices? You can ask.
So one quick check for the last loosening practice, what we did just now. Can we use belt, bend and stretch?
Yes, you can do that. No problem. You can use a belt. No problem. You can use it.
And for the one where we lift our hands for the circular, complete circle.
Yeah. This one.
Yeah. The problem is it's not going above head.
Okay. So you are not able to lift the arm.
Take
like
it above. Yes, yes.
Where is maybe the reason is if you keep your hand like this. See, this is I'm not looking at you now because I have only my picture now. So if you keep hand like this, then the hand may see now it will not go up. See, the hand is obstructing. I'm not saying that you are doing that. Some people do like this. So don't do like this. No, they obstruct their own movement with the hand. See, you saw that? So don't obstruct your own movement with your hand. So instead of taking it sideways, keep the hand on the upper shoulder. Try to take it up like this. So take it through the ears. Anyway, because most of us can take the arms like this. All of us can take the arms like this, right? And if you just fold your hand backward in this position, you have reached there. Everybody is able to lift the arm. I don't think anybody is there who cannot lift the arm. So anybody who lifts the arm, if you turn your palm backwards and put it on the shoulder, you automatically the elbow will be above the above the head. Maybe that I'm not saying that you are doing that. Sometimes it can happen that we obstruct the arm with our own hand. So don't do that. Take it upwards, keep it up, then take it back. Same way, bring it up and bring it down.
Sir, in Marjorie 2,
yeah,
the leg which we raise, that should be parallel to the ground, or we have to raise as much as we can?
As much as you can lift it up. Try to lift it up as much as you can do. So like from here, lift it up.
Okay.
You can lift it up.
Yeah.
It will not be like this.
Okay.
So it will actually give a nice stretch to the leg, hand, and the back will also become like a little U shape. All fine.
Yeah. Thank you.
You can go wrong with that.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, can I speak?
Yeah, please ask. No problem. Yeah, can you...
Sir, one doubt, sir.
Yeah.
When you hold this hand, when you do this, we should lift it this or this way, sir.
So can you show me again who's that?
Sir, I'll show you, sir. The hand.
I cannot hear you.
They should be the palm. So the palm should face the ceiling, sir?
Yeah. The palm has to face the ceiling. Yeah, when you lift your arm, your palm will be facing the ceiling upwards.
Okay.
Yeah, it should be not facing down. It should be facing up. Any other doubts? Otherwise, we go to Surya Namaskar. Okay. So we go into Surya Namaskara. So there are some queries related to Surya Namaskara. So I'll answer that after doing few rounds. Maybe 4 or 5 rounds I'll do. Sorry. So we start with the prayer. Okay. Samastiti. So when I lift the arms, you may not be able to see me. It's okay. Okay. Is the mat visible? All of you, mat is visible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah?
Yes, sir. Mat is visible,
sir.
Mat is visible, sir.
Full mat, no?
Yes, sir. Full mat.
Samastiti. So how to bring the hands up? Inhale, take your hands sideways up. Exhale to heart center. Close your eyes. Inhale again. मुखं तत्त्वं पूषन्नपावृणो सत्यधर्माय दृष्टये ॐ inhale hands up, exhale hands down. Ekam. So from here the breathing has to change. It has to become Ujjayi breath. Ekam. Dvi and Trini. Chatwari left. Pancha. Shat. Sapta. Ashta. Nava. Dasha. Ekadasha. Dvadasha. Om Mitraya Namaha. Samasthiti. Ekam. Dve. Trini. Chatwari. Pancha. Shat. Sapta. Ashta. Nava. Dasha. Ekadasha. Dvadasha. Om Ravaye Namaha. Ekam. Dve. Trini. Chatwari. Pancha. Shat. Sapta. Ashta. Nava. Dasha. Ekadasha. Dvadasha. Om Suryaya Namaha. Four. Dve. Trini. Chatwari. Pancha. Shat. Sapta. Ashta. Nava. Dasha. Ekadasha. Dvadasha. Om Bhanave Namaha. Mute yourself. Mute your phone. Okay. You saw me? That was Surya Namaskara. Now related to Surya Namaskara, 2 queries were there. I will answer that first. Then I will come to any questions on Surya Namaskara. So ideally, you are supposed to do 12 rounds. I have done only 4 rounds because little shortage of time. So the first query was, I think, from Pooja Varghese. So she has asked, like, when you are bending forward, there is a pain. So she is not able to. I think Pooja only. I don't know who was that. So the bend, the knees. If you bend, then only you are able to touch. If the leg is straight, I think she's maybe feeling a pain. So it's okay as long as the pain is there. When there is a pain, so one simple principle I have to tell you is that, including me, I can also have a pain. So it is depending on our practice. Some days some catch may come. It is quite possible because sometimes our calculation will not be correct. My calculation also can go wrong. I can also fall, just like you. Don't worry. I am like you only. So in case I develop a pain on a particular point, say muscle, joint or anywhere, so don't exert too much pressure on that area anymore. Because see, the pain indicates that there is some mild sprain or something in that area. No, you should not, for the first 2, 3, 4 days or 2, 3 days, don't exert that part at all. So don't, for example, if I'm having a little back pain, so that time when I bend forward, slightly bend the knee and come like this. So I will not feel a pain. Too much of pain will not be there. And put the head down. Then I take one like that. So don't exert that part of the body where there is a pain. So it doesn't mean that you should never do that. After 2 or 3 days so initially when the pain is there, it is better to do cold, this one. For example, cold packs, not hot packs. Because the ice or something, no, it reduces the inflammation. If you heat it up, the inflammation can increase because fluids will come out. So the inflammation initially, first few hours, don't do hot packs. This is as per orthopedics only. So whatever doctors say, that only I am saying. It's not my knowledge. So what they say is that when there is a sprain or difficulty, apply cold there, like ice or something, so that there is not much of inflammation. And after 2-3 days, you can, if required, you can take hot water showers. Because when you take hot water showers, the blood circulation increases. When the blood circulation increases, the healing tendency of that part increases. So initially cold, after a few days or some few hours, slowly you can take hot water showers and all to improve the healing process. And don't disturb that part too much. So after 2-3 days, slowly you have to try to give a, no, because to maintain the range of motion, because you cannot protect that area too long. After 3-4 days or maximum 1 week, slowly you have to train that part. So after 3-4 days now, I feel okay, now the pain is reduced. So when I bend, try to keep it slightly this much. Little more, the knees are straight. Now I feel okay, the pain is not coming. So gradually after 2 weeks, it will become straighter. And then gradually you will get full range of motion. Like that. So that is how you treat any sprain or injury. First thing. That was one query. Other query is that how to improve the forward bending. So see, the bending has to happen from the lower back. So the bend of the body has to come from the lower back, not from the upper back. So when you're bending back, lead the chin forward. So the bend has to come from here. You saw that. The bend is not like this. The bend should not come from the top. The bend has to come from the bottom. So from here bending back. Now when I bend forward, try to keep the back backwards and then lead. So the navel has to come forward. So the navel will come forward. Then the chest will come. Head will be the last thing. So the stomach has touched. See, my stomach has touched the thigh. You can see the stomach has touched. And then
the chest will touch. Chest has touched. Then finally the head will touch. Head is immaterial because the body is touching. So while bending forward, bend from the lower back, not from the upper back. Like when you bend from the upper back, there is a rounding. See, it will round your back and the vertebrae will round. So instead of that, lead the chin forward. Lead the chin forward and bring the stomach first, then the chest, and finally bring the head. So start bending from the lower back, not from the upper back. Don't round it. So try to bring a flat back bending forward. So this is the method. The other thing is when you are taking bath, so at that time when you are applying soap on the legs, don't lift the leg. Don't do like this. And don't keep the leg on the commode. Some people will keep the leg on commode and wash. So instead of that, bend forward, put soap like this. So that every day you will get some forward bending. A simple tip I want to give you. So I do like that. And while applying soap on the feet also, try to apply like this. So don't keep the leg up and apply. Don't keep it on the commode and apply. Keep it down, bend forward, apply soap on the legs. So I clarified two things in Surya Namaskara. There was one more query. So that was, I think, from another lady. No problem. I need not name them. Now, I always keep telling the elbow should not spread. I have many times I have told. So I am going to explain that again now. Now, see what elbow joint is a hinge. Ting, ting. This is the only movement the elbow can make. Elbow cannot make like this. If this has to move, the shoulder will move. Elbow joint is a hip joint, a hinge joint. Shoulder is a ball and socket. Shoulder can move anywhere. It can go up, side, down, everywhere it can move. But elbow cannot move sideways. If I fix this, I cannot take elbow sideways. No, I can bend only this much. The elbow cannot go out. If the elbow is going out, that means the shoulder is turning. Okay, so the same principle you have to do in Surya Namaskar. So when I am here, I am showing that now. Okay, now I am here. You observe carefully. So I am in that plank position. I hope you can see me. Right, plank. When I go down, don't give like this. So keep the elbow close. So don't keep the hand inside like this. This is wrong. See, the hand should not go inside your below the body. The hand should be shoulder distance. As I told you, finger wide open. Don't never keep like this. No, wide open. So keep it like this. Now, when I go down, look at my elbow. Exhale, going down. Elbow will not spread. It will be touching the body. It will not spread. See, it is close to the body. Now, while coming up also, your elbow should not go away. So, did it go away? No. It stayed with the chest. So many of the, so if you are doing like this, say from here. So what is happening? The elbow is spreading and you are coming up. So this joint will go away. After a few months, this joint is not supposed to go like that. It should be like this. It is an up like this only. The hand has to move. It cannot go like this. So all these generally the problem is on the strength. So we are compensating our strength with our bone. We are using bone instead of the muscle. It will not develop. If you are not using the muscle, how will it develop? It will not develop. Your bone will go away. So don't do that. When I do this, from here, I plank. So straight has to go. And you nail it on. You saw that. Elbow doesn't go away. It is touching the body. You got that? Yeah. So this was another query in Surya Namaskara. So the queries that I received, I have replied. Any other queries, please ask in Surya Namaskara.
Sir, when we go down from high plank to low plank, Chaturanga, at that time, exactly which part of the upper body takes the pressure? I feel it on my shoulder, but I don't know whether it's the right part or not.
No, see, it's not that only the shoulder will work. So your biceps, triceps, shoulder, the trapeze muscles at the back. So there are muscles just behind the scapula. Those muscles, the wrist. So I think it is a collective effort of the upper body along with core. See, when you do Chaturanga Dandasana, you are like a staff, no? You are
Yes.
actually taking the body down without anything on the mat. This way, from here, so I have to connect the entire body. So when I go down, so the stomach has to take the weight, shoulder has to take the weight, the trapeze muscles at the back, all of them will work together and bring the body down, like that.
Okay. And we should tighten our core at that time.
Yes, the stomach has to become tight. Otherwise, that connection will not happen, and the buttocks will go down, or the knee
Yeah.
will hit the floor because you are not connecting. So you have to connect. Then you are taking the weight of the body from your feet till the palm, and there is weight in the middle. So how the weight that will connect it with your abdominal strength. The abdominal strength will tighten and keep the body like a straight line.
Okay.
Connection will be done by the stomach. Here inhale. Like that. And
So
push.
can you show me this step again from Chaturanga when you're going to upward dog?
Yeah, so from here, high plank.
Yeah.
Exhale, low plank. Then slip the toe. Then inhale, come up.
And when we slip the toe, we become a little, we come a little ahead, right? And then come up.
No, 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 no. It will not. It has to slip back.
Okay.
Then chest first.
Okay.
Then the head back.
Okay.
Then similarly, I'm supposed to pull forward and roll back.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm supposed to pull and roll back. Some of you cannot pull, so you have to roll back and then you will be here, then take a step forward.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
any other queries, Surya Namaskar?
Yes, sir. Really.
Yeah.
So when you're doing this upward dog, this shoulder position, if you can just how you keep saying that don't roll the shoulder. So I'm slightly confused on that part. How the shoulder should be when you
Rotating the shoulder, that one, no?
yeah.
So from here, see, I'm in Adho Mukha Svanasana.
Huh.
Okay, look at me. So now this is, here the shoulders are not stretched.
Okay.
They are not fully stretched.
Huh.
I'll show the three positions, okay?
Huh.
Now, if I go a little, now the shoulders are stretched.
Huh.
But beyond that, if I go down, see now the shoulders have rotated.
Oh, okay. Or rotated outwards. Okay.
Outwards. So don't do that. You can stretch as long as the shoulders are straight. So beyond that, I should not go. I can look at the navel. Beyond that, if I go, it will become spread and it will go rotate the shoulder inside.
Okay.
That should not be done. At the same time, it should not be here also.
Okay.
Now here it's not stretching. Here it's stretching. So if you see, when I do that stretch, the tummy fat will touch the thigh. You can see. So when the tummy fat touches the thigh, you can see this. So this is a mild way. The moment I stretch and touch the tummy, that is over. Beyond that, see, a little back arch. Don't round it like this. After that, try to bring your chest closer to the thigh and try to touch a little stomach on the thigh. Beyond that, not required.
So there is like a bending on the back, which is there.
There will be an arch. Little arch will come.
Because when I try to do that, I end up rolling the shoulder. Is what I'm.
Don't do that. That means your back is not arching properly in that asana. Little arch is fine. You don't have to. If it's stuck, you just maintain straight line. This is also fine. Keep a straight line. This is fine. But
push the ground and try to ground the heel.
Okay. Okay.
Try to ground the heel, lengthen the shoulder. Don't keep it down. So not this way. Push and elevate your shoulder.
Okay. Okay. Fine.
Yeah. Any other query?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, like you say, like from Chaturanga Dandasana, will we go to that? What is the other asana? I forgot the name. Yeah, Uttam Mukha Svanasana. So then you say to sleep your toes and go, but then I'm able to sleep my toes only when I go up.
That is okay. So after coming up from here, coming up and then sleeping the toe. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Gradually come out of it. Try to do in that position and then come up. So it needs strength. So little strength is required. So because the upper body has to take the weight, slip the toe from here. Then come up.
Okay, sir.
Okay. It will come with experience. It will come. It depends on the upper body strength and the connection of your abdomen. Okay.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
That query is over. Now coming to Paschimottanasana, I have to bend my knees a bit to get the forward stretch. That I explained. So when you do the forward bending in Paschimottanasana, as the same thing, you have to bring the chest forward, chin forward. Don't start doing this. Don't round. Try to lead forward, lead the chin forward. So when you bring the chest in front, the body will come front. So see, keep arm pulling like that. Extend your back. See, the elbow is already touching the mat now, whereas the head is not. But the Paschimottanasana has already happened. You know, this is immaterial. This movement is not very important in Paschimottanasana. The movement has already happened. See, the chest is touching the thigh. Stomach is also. So lead. So bring the navel forward. Navel forward. Bring it forward, forward. Catching the heel. Try to put the body on the leg. That is the only way to improve the forward stretch. Chin forward, chest forward, stomach forward. Start bending from the lower back.
He reflex at this time, is it?
Huh?
Legs, the toes doesn't have to be in reflex. It has, okay. It has.
So look at the toe. So another good thing is now if you lock this part of the wrist. So I lock here. You can see. So I cross the hand and catch the heel. So I get very good grip to pull the body. So if it's not possible, hook the toe or wherever you can catch the ankle. But lead. See, whatever you can do, chest front, chin front. Okay. So that's the way to improve the forward bendings. Chest front, chin front, stomach front. Don't bring the lead the head forward. Lead the navel forward. Okay. I explained all the things.
So the back of the knee kind of lifts up in Paschimottanasana for me. The back knee, back of the knees.
Okay.
I can't keep my legs that straight. Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah. That means your knee is bending a little, is it?
It's slightly bending. When I move forward, the knees, back of the knees lift up a bit.
Okay. Maybe little stiffness at the back. So see, you have to tame your back very carefully. It is like back bending is like taming a lion. If you do too fast, it will bite you back. So it takes its own time. So go slow, don't worry. It will come with experience. It takes time. So don't push too much on this. Go slow. You have to be watchful on the back. You cannot be hard.
Yes, sir.
You know,
yes.
Let it take its time. Don't worry about it. Just observe the procedure. That's enough. Don't worry too much. Then another important thing then Janu Shirshasana. The question is not asked, but I have to put it there. So when you do Janu Shirshasana, so it's called knee head pose. So the leg is folded. So the leg will not be like this. Don't keep the leg
perfectly 90 degree. Keep it a little back. So keep it a little back, both in Janu Shirshasana, Parivarta Janu Shirshasana. And so you have to stretch the arm up and keep the chin straight. So so lift your body keeping the legs steady. And then same rule holds good. So take long, so you have to, it's an extension. Take a long extension and catch without rounding the back. So all these, see, Surya Namaskara, when you do the 12 rounds, you have to keep on improving your forward stretching so that all these asanas will come properly. So keep the leg a little away. This I want to explain. The other one is very important. When you do Parivarta Janu Shirshasana, I hope beginners are there listening to me. So I don't want too many mistakes after that. I keep correcting. So from here, you have to start twisting the body from here. So I'm straight like this. The toes are pointed. The moment I start going down, the toe will come. What Priyanka asked, the toe will come. And then, so your palms are facing each other. Rotate, 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 rotate. The hand also will rotate. Rotate, 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 and catch. Now, where are the little fingers? The little fingers are facing the sky. See that? It is not like this. I am not catching like this and try. No, this is wrong. You will be looking physically okay, but you will not get the twisting effect. So the arm also should rotate. The body will rotate, arm will rotate, and catch this side. So the right hand will go to the left side, left hand will come to the right side. And both the little fingers. So I'll come there and show it. Oh, you cannot see me there. Okay, I'll rotate and now show it. Okay. Now look at my hand movement. So from here, I lifted the hand. Now you can see I rotated, 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 rotated. How my hand has come, 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 and catch. So where is the little finger? Little finger upper. So the right hand is on the left, left hand is on the right. Both the little fingers up. And then, keeping that contact, rotate your chest upwards. Like that. That is Parivarta Janu Shirshasana. So seniors, they have to lock the shoulder lock. So this elbow has to be used. See this elbow has to lock here. So you get proper rotation. So I use full shoulder to rotate. Like that. So the position of the hand is important. Don't hold like this. And don't hold like this. This is also wrong. See, this hand is not rotated. The little finger is up, but I did not rotate. So I have to rotate the hand. Then look up. Then exhale, release the twist and reverse the hand. Pancha. Shat, inhale, sit up. See now the pointed toe activated. Exhale, hands down. Then inhale, leg forward. Exhale, other side. Inhale. Now, see that rotation has to start from here. Catch. And then inhale. Look up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Okay. So any doubts in Janu Shirshasana? Parivarta Janu Shirshasana.
Sir, in Parivarta Janu Shirshasana,
yeah.
When I rotate and go down, I am not able to turn and face my chest upward. In the sense, it's not facing upward.
Are you able to catch the toe?
Yes.
Are you able to keep the elbow inside the thigh? Inside the knee?
I am, but it is not touching the floor. It is touching my knee, but not touching the floor.
It's only a, what do you call,
Don't worry, you are on the right process only. You may not
Okay.
because you have not reached the depth. Only this.
Yes, I'm able to do till here,
Yeah.
not further.
It's okay. So don't worry. So from here, gradually, if you keep the elbow down, then you will get a good pivoting force. So don't worry. It's only a no, it's an improvement in your practice. That's all. Your technique is right. Don't worry. Gradually, you'll reach there. It will take time. That's all.
Okay.
Technique is right. So I'm worried more about techniques. No, people they ignore the techniques. They will do something here and there, and they are doing it wrongly, and they will not reach there. Think, for example, now some people they want to go to. I keep repeating this example. They want to go to Majestic, and they are sitting in the bus that goes to market, thinking that they will reach Majestic. They will not reach Majestic. They will reach market only. So that the basic technique itself is wrong. So if you are sitting in the Majestic bus, no problem. So someday you will reach there. So don't sit in market bus and think that you will reach Majestic. So come out from that bus and take the Majestic bus. Okay, that is the only worry I have. So as long as the process is right, you will reach there. Don't worry. So yeah, now Supta Vajrasana. In Supta Vajrasana, the two things which I find: one, not able to come back from the third stage, not able to keep the knees together. Bharatvajrasana. Sorry. So in Supta Vajrasana, I have told you. So inhale and exhale, sit in Vajrasana. Then there are 4 or 5 different positions in Supta Vajrasana. The first position is this one. You can keep the finger back and relax. This also is fine. Now here also I am getting a slight back arch here. It is coming. I am okay with this. If you are not able to go further. Now, if this is very easy, then the second position. So don't do taka 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 and then you are not able to come back. So we should know, we should not be like Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu entered the Chakra Vyuha. Now he is not able to come out only. So don't enter the Chakra Vyuha and without knowing how to come out of it. You should know how to come out of it. Only then you do it. So then second level is 3D like this. This is also fine. See, I'm getting a slight back arch here. And then 2-3 weeks you do like this. Or when the next time Bharadwaja comes, they do again. So your back needs time to bend. As I told Pooja, it needs time. It cannot be harsh. Now after a few weeks, I find this is easy. Both easy ho gaya. Mera back to it's easy. Now, so then I try to keep the head. This is the third level. The 1 level, 2 level, third level. Here I can come up. See? Let the knee lift up while coming, no problem. So third level is, first is hand down, fingers pointing back. Second level is elbow down. Second level, put the head back. Third level is head down. Keep the elbow a little forward. Now you found this also easy. Then put the shoulder down. Now this is, if you can do this much, this one is very easy. Stretching the arm is easy. Even in this position, you can stretch the arm. So the moment your elbow is off the floor, you can stretch the arms. And from coming back from here, little up. So, how many positions I showed? 1. Supta Vajrasana, no problem. This is also fine. 2. I'm happy, no problem. Because you are in control. You know what to do, what not to do. So I'm happy. You are traveling with the group. 3. Happy, no problem. Third position is over. 4. No problem. In 3 and 4, you can do this as well. That's it. Then Pancha, inhale top. So choose what you can do and go ahead. Simple.
So in this fourth position which you showed,
Yeah.
The position of your chair, should we try to lie down as flat as possible, or should the back be arched?
It will be arched because see, your buttock is on the heel. You saw that?
The buttock is on the heel. So the heel is keeping the buttock high. And the lower back, this L1, L2, L3, L4, L5, all that will have a slight arch like this. So this arch will come. So when you flatten the shoulder, the arch will be there.
So this is a natural arch, which is we don't have to try to push it up or anything like that, no?
No. Don't push it up. This is a natural arch only. You can squeeze the arms backward and keep the knee grounded, squeezing the thighs. All this you should do. But there is no need to lift the hips up.
Okay.
Resting on your heels.
Sir, in the same, in the same Supta Vajrasana, can you, in the second level, what you had shown, wherein
this one.
Yes, you don't have to touch your your hands don't have to touch your knee, is it?
No.
Not the knee, the feet, is it? It doesn't have to touch the feet?
No.
You can keep it down.
Ground.
Okay. And the thigh to join, that's the little problem actually.
So more of that is, because some of you, the thigh muscles may be tight. It will be little tight. So especially those who do a lot of walking or jogging, anything, their muscles will be a little stiff. So the moment you go back, it will start lifting. It's not the quadriceps. The quadricep muscles may not be pulling, and that may be one reason. The other reason is the lower back is not arching. So either of these may be the reason. So do what you can. Gradually, the thigh muscles will become, the quadriceps will become longer, and you will feel better. So that's why in most of the asanas, we try to stay 5 breaths. So in the asanas, when you stay in that position, the muscles will become longer. It will become stretching slowly, day by day, it improves. So I think you should just stay there, and if it's painful or if it's not, you just keep on putting the positive effort to push the knee down and try to squeeze your thighs. It will come up after some time.
While coming back, there is a little bit of a trouble in the sense the flow is not very comfortable.
You may be lifting the knee a little, right, while coming up.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. I think earlier I remember you used to go and then you used to struggle to come back. I think
actually there is lot of improvement earlier, and now there's lots of improvement actually. So now it is a little comfortable, but then still I feel that coming back I'm finding it a little difficult kind of.
No, don't worry. It is fine. As long as
Me, sir, I'm not able to go into the second stage at all. I'm stuck at the first stage. My knee starts lifting up.
Priyanka, is it?
Yeah.
You are not keeping the elbow also?
No, I've not reached at the elbow stage also. I'm stuck at the first stage. My knee starts lifting up, and my ankle starts paining then.
See, some of the people have this, so their ankle, this joint is stiff. So when you do Vajrasana itself, it starts paining.
Yeah, Vajrasana, it has improved a lot. I have been able to sit for long now in Vajrasana. It's just that this back bend I'm not able to do at all, this particular asana.
It's okay. I think with it is only time only can.
Yeah.
Because see, some asanas are like that. See, for example, I also have some difficult asanas. So I keep doing that, and then that's all. Beyond that, you cannot do. So whatever I can do, so just practicing, it will improve with practicing.
Okay.
Then somebody has asked regarding Sarvangasana and how to do Chakrasana, Bakasana. So Sarvangasana, I have one thing on Sarvangasana. I hope they are there. They're not closed. Inhale, take the arms over your head. Exhale, keep your legs together. Now inhale. So there is a force required to lift up. So once I lift the leg, that's an inhalation. And then I bring the hands down. So you have to put this pressure. See, the elbow will press on the floor and the palm will press. So take it a little up
And if you're not able to come up, take a push like that. So the elbow should push the ground when you come up. Elbow is more close to the shoulder. It is difficult to push the palm. So when the elbow is pushed, so with the swing like this from here, with the swing, push up. Got that? You have to apply some force to do that. Without force, definitely you cannot come up because you are taking the weight of your body upwards. The buttocks, hip, leg, everything you are lifting up with your body strength. So there is a pressure applied. You have to apply this pressure on the ground. And so from 90 degree, if you are not able to take it directly from there, take a little back. So from here, take a little back and then push. Like that. So don't think that from here automatically it will come. No. You have to take it this side. Another method you can do is take it a little this side, then roll up and then straighten it. This way. So if you find, so it is a matter of time only again, how the technique works. I can see some newcomers, they are not able to do it. All of us were like you only in the beginning. So if none of these things works, very tough you find. I have seen some students, they have taken 6 months to go to Sarvangasana. 6 months. Some people have taken 1 year. I know the people who have taken to come to Sarvangasana. So don't worry, it will come. If you all these things, if it does not work, then when that time comes for Sarvangasana, we'll say, no, tuck your shirt, lie down. That time you go to the wall. Go to the wall and keep your leg like this. But this is only temporary. This is not going to solve your problem. So I go to the wall. So if possible, keep the buttocks on the wall. Like this. So I've kept my buttocks on the wall. This is called Viprita Karni. If you do like this itself, it's good for the blood flow. The blood comes from the leg towards the body. Now from here, if you can, then you have to push, bend your leg, keep it a little away, then lift your hips. Like this. Then support the back. Then inhale, take one leg up and take the other leg. Okay. You can do like that. And try to, initially the weight will be on the hand. And slowly try to shift it to the shoulder. And while coming down, keep the leg back on the wall. Then exhale, bring the hip down. Inhale, straighten your leg. Stay there for some time and come back. This is another way. I think this we do in the therapy class and all. So with there we go, because in when you have got some small back, issues on the back, it is better to not get that jerky movement. So there you have to go to the wall, press, lift the hips, make it straight, then support, and then take up. So this is initially. After a few weeks, you should know, this is easy, very easy. Then you have to go to the mat only. So in the mat, as I said, try to tilt your leg towards head side little. So from here, tilt to the head side, little tilt it. Then so automatically the buttocks will come up. See, it has come up. The buttock has come up, hip has come up. Then support your back. Can initially touch the buttocks. Then take it lower, 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 lower and straight. So that is the way to do Sarvangasana. That was one doubt.
Sir, rolling and coming up is also fine, right? Or should
reorder your questions in my sequence. Okay. I can see some students, they are not able to do Sarvangasana. I don't know the name.
In this one, I'm not able to do the back thing. It's not happening. I tried.
So it will not happen now. It will take time. Some things will have to happen with time only. Whatever you do, it will not happen. So keep on trying, it will come. Don't worry. Just follow process. Become steady. Steadiness is more important. Children. So don't look here and there. Become steady. That is more important. As of now, focus on that. So you have done Sarvangasana. My lower body seems to be much weight. Everybody's lower body is like this only. My lower body is heavier than your lower body. How I am lifting? Same thing. Everybody's lower body is heavy. No problem. Everybody has got fat here. Nobody's body is heavy. Everything is same only. It is only technique, practice. Patavi Joy says 99% practice, 1% skill. That 1% is this. Remaining 99 is in your hand, not in my hand. Okay, practice, that's all. Then how to do Chakrasana? Hand position. There are some people, like I remember some children. So keeping Chakrasana, hand position is important. Now, another thing. Now I will not do Chakrasana now because I will injure myself. I will first do Setubandhasana, then only do Chakrasana. Anybody asks you to do, Mr. This one, please show me which asana you are doing. Oh, you are doing a lot of yoga, no? Show me one asana. Don't do it. Don't do demonstration in front of people unless you do proper loosening practice, proper Surya Namaskara. We will get excited, no? Children especially. They will excited, I am doing yoga. Which asana you are doing? Suddenly Chakrasana. Suddenly Shirshasana. Because we are excited to show others. Everybody is excited. I also like showing my skills to others. Generally, I am telling. Everybody likes to tell other people that I am doing this, I have achieved this. I feel nice. You also feel nice. But you have to be very careful. So don't suddenly do difficult asanas. Don't show in front of people, this is what I have achieved suddenly. Then definitely your back will catch. Because your body is not prepared. You did not do loosening practice. You did not do Surya Namaskar. Suddenly, how will you do Chakrasana? Not possible. Your back is not ready for it. Your back has to be ready. You have to prepare, then practice. Many people do this. I know. So please have a lot of patience. If they want to see you, ask them to call them. Okay, now today evening I will be practicing. So definitely I will show you that my whatever asana I am doing. So please, I will show you in the evening. That's all. And don't show asanas after having food. After half an hour, suddenly, Udyana Bandha, Agni Sarakriya. That is not the right time. Not possible. See, I am taking a class at 11 o'clock. If my breakfast was at 10 o'clock, I should not practice. How will I do Agni Sarakriya with my food in the stomach? Not possible. So be careful. Don't demonstrate in the wrong time. So if anybody asks you to do, take the correct time to do the practice. It is not free. You cannot just like that do asanas. Then, how to do Chakrasana? So first I will do Setubandhasana, then Chakrasana. So people don't focus on the Setubandhasana, that is why they are not able to do Chakrasana. No, so they don't have time, no. They go directly from Chakrasana here. No, the shoulder has to stretch first. Then only you should do so. So inhale, take the arms over here. Now see, my shoulder is long. So my shoulder is ready for Setubandhasana. So that's why the process is important. Now exhale your breath, point your toes. Now my legs are ready. Both are ready. Arms are ready, legs are ready. Now inhale, bend your legs. I bend the legs, keep them in distance. See my leg. I did not keep like this. I've seen people, they do it like this. No, keep it away. Shoulder distance. Then that's an inhalation. Now exhale, bring the hands down, catch the ankle. Ankle catch. I did not say touch the ankle. I purposely choose the word so that the communication is proper. So once I caught, I catch the ankle. It's not touching or just fingers. I catch. So I get a good grip on the ankle in Setubandhasana. That's an exhalation.
Sorry, every asana my knee bends.
Knees bend, already my knees bend. My knees already bent, no? Yeah. Now, Dvi inhale, lift your hips. Now, this height I got as of now. This height is not enough. So this is the first inhalation. Now exhale there. Now, the next inhale, I will roll my shoulder down and increase the height. So people are not doing this. So people are keeping the shoulders wide. Look at the difference. I'll show you from here. See my shoulder. Okay, I hope you can see me now. I'll show you how the rotation of the shoulder happens. You can see me. Inhale, come up. Now the shoulders are out. You saw that? Now see how I rotate the shoulder. You saw that? It was like this. I brought it inside. So that's called rotation of a shoulder downwards. Your shoulder is not taking weight here. So my idea is to rotate the shoulder and take the height of your hips a little more. Inhale. And then I rotate the shoulder. So if I get that grip, now I have to remove the hands and place it by the side of the ears. You saw that? So the elbow should not go away. Elbow will be close to the body only. So it will come almost below the shoulder. It is not behind. It is not outside also. It is not like this. Some people are feeling like this and all. Try to lift up. How will you lift? No. You are fingering all these things. So try to keep it below the shoulder besides the ears. Ears and the shoulders are the same place. And then with that push, try to lift up. Like that. So that is Chakrasana, how to lift up. And while coming down also, bend the elbow in the same way and come back. So what you have to do is, in the Setubandhasana, try to work on your Setubandhasana. Roll your shoulder down and increase the height of your hips without lifting the heels. Without lifting the heel, increase the height of the hips so that the back will be formed, the arch will come. Then you just have to place your hands and lift. So it's a mix of flexibility and strength. Both are required for Chakrasana. So take your time. Initially keep on doing Setubandhasana, keep on trying. Slowly, after some time, your body will lift. On the arm strength, it will lift. Any doubts on Chakrasana?
Master, so how to do the standing Chakrasana? How to practice standing Chakrasana?
Who is that?
Nagarjuna.
What is the question? I think. Who was it? Getting scared to do standing Chakrasana. So now I will not do standing Chakrasana. Why? I am not ready for it. So I am going to do one more asana so that I am ready for standing Chakrasana.
Okay, okay.
So inhale, hands up. Exhale, point your toes. Inhale, bend the legs. Exhale, hands by the ears. Inhale, pick up. Start exhaling. Exhale, come down. Inhale, legs straight. Exhale, hands down. Now my Chakrasana is over. Now in my second Chakrasana, I will stand up. So in my advanced class also, I do like this only. Second Chakrasana, I have to walk and stand up. Again, inhale, hands up. Exhale, feet together. Inhale, bend the legs. Exhale, hands by the ears. Now inhale, rise up. Now exhale. So I keep walking so that my back is nicely bent. Once I reach good bending, then so that. So the distance between the hand and leg has to become very small. Sorry. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, rise. Exhale. I reduce the distance into nice. Then with one push, I come up.
हाँ ठीक है. हाँ.
So that's how I do standing chakrasana. So
करें.
now the same way going.
ये पेंट को.
Now please mute your mic. Some people are talking.
हाँ अभी.
The same way in dropping backwards, the push of the hip instead of too much of bending on the knee, keep pushing. Then take multiple breaths. Go down, bend the knee slightly. Left. Come to dropping back. It's all on the back. How you train your back. So that was the regarding standing chakrasana. So keep reducing the distance between your legs and hands, and then gradually you will be able to stand up. And same way you should be able to drop back.
How do you know you have reached this level, sir, that you are ready for standing chakrasana? How do you know that?
So see, you will after some time you will feel that the distance is very less, one, and you will find it easy to breathe in the chakrasana. The breathing will become easy. If your breath is easy, that means your back is bending properly without much of difficulty, and you will be able to shift the weight to the leg side, and the arm. You will feel that okay, now I can lift the arm. So check that your breath is slowing down. If your breath is getting normal, slowing down in chakrasana, slowly you should be able to gradually do that. So another thing people do is the catching the wall and standing up and going down with the wall. That also you can try. In that advanced class, we do like that. So catching the wall, standing up, and
catching the wall and keeping the leg do not happen. Keeping in the wall.
So you have to do
carrying the leg and keeping it.
No, I'm not able to see your chakrasana itself. So first you do chakrasana. I want to see you doing chakrasana without your parents supporting you. Kalnai. You have to take a challenge. Okay, become more steady and practice.
I'll try.
So, sir, one more thing in this, when the hands are there at the back, no?
Yeah.
I always face that by the time I'm up, my hands are much closer to the, to each other for some reason. So, is it like when you go back, it should be like this, or should be how the exact position of your palm when you go down?
The palm will be shoulder distance. So they should not be wider than the shoulder. And while lifting up, there may be a slight rotation on the elbow, but once you are there, you have to firm the palm. And one thing that you should check is that your shoulder will come above the wrist in chakrasana. The shoulder will come above the wrist. This is a side view. So when I lift up, you see my shoulder and the wrist, see it has come here. You saw that? It's not here. So I bring the body, see you saw that? The leg, so bring the shoulder above the wrist in chakrasana. So see, my front is loaded. So the legs are free. See, the legs are free. You saw that? The front is loaded more, the back is arching. The legs are easy to walk.
Well, I feel a lot of twist on my wrists. I don't know, is it the wrong way I'm holding the hand when I'm lifting up?
Another thing here also, index finger parallel. Index finger should be parallel. Don't rotate this side or this side. So keep it. The reference, as I've always told you, in the Surya Namaskara also we tell, no? Like this. When I keep the hand. So this is the position of the palm. In Surya Namaskara or even your this one, Chakrasana.
So see the index finger, it's making a parallel line. See? So if you do this, it's wrong. Your elbow is turning inward. If you do this, it's wrong. Your elbow is rotating outward. So when you do this, your elbow will be straight. In Chakrasana also, keep your index finger parallel to each other. Like, okay, you saw that. So that will ensure, and your shoulders are coming above the wrist. So now there is one question regarding Bharadwajasana. No, Preeti is there. Preeti has asked that. Also,
yes, sir.
Abhakasana.
I'm there, sir. Yeah.
In Bharadwajasana, so from Samasthiti, inhale, so Samasthiti, inhale, fold both the legs to the one side and folding to the right. On the exhalation, so your right arm, bicep, you have to swing the arm and take it back and catch the bicep. You saw that. So the bicep will be caught by the left arm, so the right bicep. That is an inhalation. That's inhalation. Sorry, exhalation. Inhale, fold, exhale, catch. Now inhale, keep the right hand below the left knee. Try to straighten the lessening breath. And with an exhalation, look back. Like that. So, so this catch is a little difficult. Catching the bicep with the other hand. Some of us may not be able to do that. With experience, so try to catch it properly, and then with an inhale, insert, and then bulge and look back with an exhale.
Right. So the right hand is supposed to be straight, right? It's supposed to straighten.
Elbow should become straight if you put it.
Okay.
Try to straighten that elbow. So with that straightness, there will be a pull. The body will rotate. If it's like this, try to straighten it.
So, and the shoulders are also strained here, right?
Yeah.
For me, it's hurting a little on the shoulders. So, that is why I'm a little worried.
Okay, don't worry. Just if you can just even keep it back and just touch it initially, because and so this movement try to perfect it. Take a little time extra if you want, and ensure that this position so that that lock comes. If that lock comes, then the effect of the asana will be proper.
Okay.
Like that. So it means the outer shoulder is hurting for you. This shoulder.
Yes, sir. The one that is going behind. Correct.
Yeah. It's okay. That's a query regarding this one, and one more query was there regarding Bakasana. I think pranayama, not able to hold my breath. Next question was Bakasana. Where is she? Madhulika, she's there. She's gone.
She's there, sir.
Oh, she's there. So you can do this without breaks also. It's better. So in Bakasana, you have to stand with the legs in shoulder distance, little maybe wider than the shoulder. Then keep the palm properly on the floor. So some people, the children, they jump. They try to jump. No, Bakasana will not come by jumping. You have to keep the leg properly. So I know there are some children in this class. So keep either you keep the thigh. This is also fine. The beginners keep the thigh. The thigh you keep it on the hand, just above the elbow, and then putting the weight on the hand. Try to lift the leg in the air like that. Please mute your phone. So what I showed you just now. So keep your thigh outside and keep the thigh on the hand, not in the air. Keep it just on the hand above the elbow. Keep it near the triceps region. So keeping the thigh outside the hand, lift one leg, lift one leg, lift the other leg. Like that.
Every time.
Okay, so that is the beginner level. Once you feel that is good, then you try to keep the knee. So for keeping the knee, same way keep the knee inside the armpit. Keep the knee inside the armpit. Lift the heel with an exhale. Then inhale, shift the weight to the arms. And slowly balance on the arm. Like that. Then exhale. So that's the, you have to shift the weight to the front and balance on the arm strength. Bend your elbows slightly. Like that. If there is a brick, then it's a little more easier. Because the wrist will not be loaded too much. A little more height you will get. Shift the weight to the front, slowly lift it. Exhale, come back. Then Bhujapidasana in our advanced asana of the month. So stand in front of the brick, insert your hand below the shoulder.
Sir, I am not able to do Bhujapidasana also.
No. Then lift your legs in the air first. You have to balance on the hand first. Then interlock. Like that. So that was Bakasana, Bhujapidasana.
Sir, what should be the starting level for Bhujapidasana? I mean, what should we start with doing?
So if you are able to balance right now, from here, if the hand goes down,
okay,
that is important. See this step. In your, see how I sit.
Okay.
The body comes below the knee, right?
Body, okay.
Comes below the knee. So here I can insert.
Okay.
Inserting the hand is important. When I insert comes, then very easy. See this. The moment you, this is called Dvihasta Bhujasana. What is it's called Dvihasta Bhujasana. So if you can lift the leg in the air, then it is easy to lock.
Okay.
You will see. Here the technique is, see, that's why in Surya Namaskara we do that Trini, no, Ekam Dvi Trini, bending forward. Keep working on that. Increase the depth of your body.
Okay.
And try to insert it deeply below the thigh. If you insert it very deep, see, maximum reach back. Reach back, reach back, reach back, reach back, reach back. Keep it back.
Okay.
Then lift.
Okay. Okay. So first we should try to sit as low as so that our shoulders come below our knee, right? The first step. Okay.
That is the key. If that happens, everything else is easy.
Master, before going to pranayama, so one question regarding the Vasishthasana.
Yeah.
So while doing the poses, I'm able to breathe and I'm able to do it correctly. But the shivering, no, so it starts like while taking the second breath, it starts body starts shaking. How to overcome that practice? How to overcome that?
See, that is because of the arm strength. So the arm, the shoulder, your arm is, that's the reason why it's shivering. So there is a strength on the body, on the shoulder. So that will take some time. Gradually it will become stronger. So it is difficult for me also after 2-3 breaths. It's difficult for me also to stay. So keep on doing that, and the arm strength has to improve. So this asana actually improves the strength of your arms, shoulders, everything. It will increase the strength of your wrist, shoulder, all of that. And gradually it will become stronger, and that shivering will reduce.
Okay.
Okay, the another question about, I think it's 5:45, right? One question about pranayama was she's not able to hold the breath. See, I'll tell you one basic reason is that A person, I have repeated in all the classes this one. A person who does not do asanas, it is very difficult for that person to do pranayama. A person who does not do proper pranayama, it's very difficult for him to do proper asana. A person who does not do asanas and pranayama, very difficult for him to do concentration, dharana, dhyana, all these things, meditation, all. See, the body is not in your hand. Your breath is not in your hand. And how will you do a meditation? Not possible. Your breath is not with you. Body is not with you. In what meditation you will do? See, I'm not saying all difficult asana, then only. No, mild asanas you should do. Mild pranayama you should do. Once your body is ready, the person is not able to open the chest only. How will he breathe? He is not able to open the chest. The ribs are squeezed. How can that person do Nadi Shuddhi Pranayama? No, your rib is not opening. How the lungs will expand? It will not expand. So all this will come with gradual experience only. So practice pranayama, practice asanas, both continuously. Don't. Some people appear after 20 days, today full yoga, and then 20 days no yoga. Then again after 1 month suddenly yoga. All this will not help. Without discipline, nobody can learn anything. Have discipline. Find out time. Okay. So we keep practicing asanas. Keep practicing. If you asana you practice, pranayama will come. Pranayama practice, asana will come. Both like that. Okay. Oh, namaste. Thank you. Because
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Thank you. Bye. I have to start the other class. That's why I'm doing.
Bye, sir.
Thank you, sir.